Hello, Film World. I am the Patrick, your host of Tomorrow Comes Movies, the podcast that, spoiler, talks movies. And each episode, I'll be joined by a guest co host, a collection of individuals who love movies to varying degrees. We're back. It's a new month, meaning new monthly theme. More first time guest co hosts are coming onto the show. So it's very exciting and also quite surprising with the movies that they're choosing. So it's going to be a fun month. I was really excited about this theme. I had worked on this before we even brought back the show. So I hope you enjoy this theme. But before we get to that, my episodes are long. I am going to try to shorten them. I say this to you, but I know this episode's pretty long, but it's fun. And that's the point about this is I get to talk movies with so many people who love the same thing that I love, cinema. All right. Well, let's introduce today's, or I keep saying today's because you don't know when this is coming out, but this episode's guest co-host. First time as well. And this gentleman has been tasked with ushering in a new monthly theme. Please join me in welcoming my Twitter mutual, an awesome Twitter mutual, Jay Loves Movies. How are you doing, Jay?
How you doing, Patrick?
I'm good. I mean,
Oh,
how did you come up with that? Like, what was did you go into, like, I had a process when I came up with the Patrick is real.
mm. I was just trying to come up with something catchy, with my name. Well, I was trying to do it with my last name because it's Casanova, so I felt like that's a really strong. I always get like, oh, just stop because of my last name. It's like a big thing. So I was like, what can I do with that? And I was like, I didn't come up with anything. So I was like, okay, my first name J Y, and I was like, I love movies. Wait, so I was just like, okay, Jay loves movies. At first, I thought it was stupid, but it caught on. I caught
No,
on.
it's a good one. The only downfall is there's a bunch of J's that I follow. So then I start getting,
Mhm.
like, one time I got you confused with a gentleman called, like, Jay the random dude, and I was like, "Wait, hold on here. Who wait, hold on. I'm pretty
Which
sure
Jay is it? Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of Jay
Mhm.
Love movies pretty much says it all versus me being like, "The Patrick is real." It was, like, a joke among my group that if I ever got famous, that people would not have to worry because, Patrick is real, and that's
Yep.
how it went. Yeah, Casanova. Yeah, I didn't know if you were gonna share that. I was gonna ask off the mic later if that was last name. That's a cool last name.
Yeah.
Well, I could see people thinking, like, making the joke, like, "Are you Casanova with the ladies?"
Right,
Yeah,
right. Yeah, and I'm just like, yeah.
it's a very cool last name. But welcome
Thank
to
you,
the
thank you.
show. We've been mutuals for a while, so we're gonna
Yes.
start with the introduction, where I'll ask you a bunch of
Um,
questions and then, be prepared, because I assume nobody has done their research with the episodes, but I'm a rambler. First one, do you remember, like, a specific interaction or a post or, like, how we kind of met?
Honestly, no. I've seen you like on my for you page because that's what I'm the page I'm on a lot. Um, and I've seen you. Patrick is real, and I always like your stuff because you're always talking about physical media, and I'm a physical media collector, so I think that's where it started, but I'm not sure. I smoke too much weed, so
It's all good, all good.
yeah.
No worries, you can do that, fine, they're not coming to my house, but you can yeah, so I remember this. Now I'm hoping, I swear if I get this wrong and it's a different Jay, I'm
It's
gonna look
okay.
so bad. But if I'm correct, did you once go to the movies and you got into a car accident?
Yes. Wait, yes.
Alright,
Yes,
so
that was me.
and I was so distraught for you, by the way, when I saw that because, 1, I wanted to make sure you're okay. That's the number 1 is safety among anybody who's involved.
Mhm.
Hopefully, it wasn't your fault. And
I
then
appreciate that. Mhm.
I'm like, "Oh, that's gotta be the worst, going into a movie and then you get into and you don't wanna do anything after that."
No, no, and it was one of those movies where it was just like one day only. So I was never gonna see it again, and it was It was one of the first Academy Award winners, the Best Picture, and it was for the Regal, the little Best Picture, film series that they got. So, it was something called I Had Wings or It Had Wings or something like that, and I was really, like, so excited to see this movie, and the day was already like, like, I wasn't feeling the day, and I was just like, "Maybe, like, a movie will cheer me up, and it's something I wanna see." And it was just one of those, like, we were at a red light, so, like, we were going, like, 5, 10 miles per hours, and it was just like a, brake check thing, so after that, I was just like, "I'm going home."
I felt so bad. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
responding because I was just like, "Oh, that's a I did pass on that Wings movie too. I was gonna go,
Mhm.
and then I looked at how long it was, and it was a
Yeah.
movie,
That
and I'm
was
like,
yeah.
"What? Gonna have to
Mhm.
take a rain check on Wings," you know? But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
glad that you're okay. Yeah, but
Mhm. Yes.
that's my interaction with you. That's my
Mhm.
I remember. Do you like, see, there's a lot of J, so I gotta do you like comics?
Wait, what was that?
Do you like, comics? Like comic books, graphic
Comics. Yes. Yes, I do.
did we
I am just like a newbie, but I do get into that.
did we talk about the Fantastic Four last year? About getting a graphic
Yes.
you look
Wait, yes. Wait, yes, and I did buy it.
you
I
love
did
this
buy it.
could you imagine if this was not you? It was a
I
different
know,
J
right?
I'd be like, "Oh,
That's pretty awkward.
you're just
Damn.
big time." Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
having that conversation, and those are kinda my interactions with you, and it's just kinda hard
Mhm.
now because the algorithm is so bad now, like, it's like I'm not
So bad.
seeing anybody. I see streamers,
Mhm.
people doing dumb things, and I'm like but you do go to the movies, that's a normal question I ask. How frequently would you say you go to the movies?
When I don't have a lot on my plate, I try to go at least once a week. Once a week. Maybe twice a week, but, one time I've gone 3 times a week, so it just depends on, what I got going on, but
Oh, yeah.
frequently I go.
I hear you, 'cause, I mean, I was going, like, every day, and I was just talking to somebody about this. I it's exhausting to go every day.
Yeah,
Especially when Regal's bringing everything back, and then I felt forced to go, like, "Oh,
yeah,
miss it." So,
exactly, and, the commute there adds up, so
yeah, I'm lucky, though. It's not too far, like 6 miles, but, like, where I'm based at California, there's a lot of traffic. I would go a lot, and then check this out, though, since I started this podcast, since I started taking acting classes, I haven't gone since last Monday, I believe, which was Dazed and Confused. I went on 420. What
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, I did
Damn, last
that.
week?
Yeah, and so I used to go, like, 3 or 4 times.
Mhm.
I'm starting to be okay with it because I used to have that FOMO, but now I'm like, "It's
I
okay.
know that FOMO. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
I'm
okay."
having Yeah, I know I always see your posts and you're, like, doing, like, double features sometimes and, like, just frequently going, and I'm like, "Man, like, I was having FOMO, like, I should be in the theater right now," you know?
Yeah. I mean, most other people are like, "You need to get some fucking friends, Patrick." Like, "Why are you going
Oh,
to
hell no.
the movies?" Like but I like it. It's like my, like you were saying, like, sometimes you're having a bad day, it's a good
Mhm.
yeah, like, I saw, I think I did a triple feature, it was crazy. My last one recent where I did The Hunting of Somebody Nicole's, that it was like
Oh,
a
okay.
Canadian found footage movie. I did Wayne's World, and then I did Jerry
Okay.
Maguire, and, like, I'm older.
Nice.
I saw
Yeah.
Jerry Maguire in theaters originally.
You did? Damn. I wanted to go see that, but I just didn't have the time.
Yeah, sometimes it's like that, but good for you, though, because it will
Mhm.
come back. Jerry Maguire is the type of movie that for sure will come back.
Yeah.
This is the 30th. You just gotta wait, like,
Yeah.
another 10, 20 years,
20 years, right?
and
For the 50th anniversary. Mhm.
you'll get your opportunity. Now,
Yeah.
this question I ask everybody, but what movie or movies made you realize, "I love movies"? That's a lot of movies I just said in that question.
Yeah. Damn. Honestly, like, that's a really hard question because, like, as a kid, like, I was watching things, but, like, it was like, okay, for example, Harry Potter, like, that's really what set me off into the movie world. Okay, so I guess you can say Harry Potter was the moment where I loved movies, like, I just like the first one, I just kept watching it and watching it and watching it, and, like, I wanted to be in that world, and I was trying to find other, universes where I can, just live in that world, and, I was going into the horror-verse, and, like, just Harry Potter started it, and it also had an influence on my outside life. Like, in school, I wanted to be in the chess club, and I got like fifth place out of like 100 people, and like just because of watching Harry Potter, I just thought that scene was so fucking cool. Like, and so yeah, and I was always like just. I had an imagination. When you're a kid, you just like you live in your head. So, and Harry Potter was just so fucking cool to live in and not in the real world. So, yeah, I guess you could say Harry Potter, but, as time goes on, like, you watch movies and you're like, "Oh my god, this is why I love movies," like, just like Dune or something like that, or Star Wars or something like that. So it's like, I don't like saying, like, one particular movie, did that, so yeah.
Now you're talking about the first Harry Potter, right?
Yes, yes, the first Harry Potter.
About to age myself, saw that. Saw the first 3 in theaters, and
Right? Oh, lucky.
I am not a big Harry Potter fan. I've come to appreciate them. They were, my generation's, basically, if you didn't like the prequels, you liked Harry Potter during that era, or
Mhm.
about to find this out too. I am not a Lord of the Rings fan, so do not
I
like
have
Rings. Oh,
I haven't watched it, so, I mean, yeah.
check.
Mm,
I'm not the biggest fan of them. I had a bad experience with them, but I did
okay.
watch them later on, and they
Mhm.
are very good movies. They're just like they're not the ones I'm like, "Let me put that on." If I had to choose between Harry Potter, Star Wars, or Lord of the Rings, it will be the Star Wars original trilogy,
For sure.
and then everything else with Star Wars, I don't care, and then I'll go to Harry Potter. Well, actually, no, I probably would go Lord of the Rings and then Harry Potter, but yeah, I mean, Harry Potter, I know it's taking a lot of flack right now for things outside of the movies, but
Yeah.
they did really shape so many people, and they really
Mhm.
introduced people to book reading and then eventually watching the movie. So, even if I'm not the biggest fan, I can acknowledge their importance,
Mhm.
and if it brought you to other movies, I mean, it's succeeded in doing its job, so
Yes, it did.
right on. So will you go to have you seen any of them in theaters?
Yes, because I had school field trips to the theaters, so, I saw one of them. I think Deathly Hallows Part 1. Maybe it was Order of Phoenix. It was one of them, but yeah, that was really great. And just imagine, like, going to on field trips to the movie theaters, and that was, like, just more fuel to, like, my love for, movies and stuff.
Now, with you going to the movies, do you have a subscription, and do you have, like, a preferred theater? Like a chain?
Uh, yes, so, I have Regal Unlimited, and I prefer Regal, um, but you see, like, I lived in Florida, and there was no Regals near me, so I used to go to AMC. And then I moved to, like, Tennessee here, and there's just all Regals. So, I don't really mind AMC or Regal, just whatever's near me is near me. But one of my buddies told me about the Regal Unlimited, subscription, and I thought it was a great deal, and I got it, and I've been with them ever since.
I just hit 100 movies with Regal, so I just got 25,000 credits.
Look at that. Hey, look
Yeah,
at that.
but could you tell
Mm,
me, some of your favorite actors, your actresses, directors/writers? Slash
mhm,
writers? 4 questions in 1, Jay.
okay. Um, okay, let's go with actor. I love Timothy. That's my guy. Robert Pattinson. I love Charlie Chaplin as an actor and director. Um, who else? I love Robert De Niro, Al Pacino. Um, I got it written down here. Oh, Joaquin Phoenix, Cary Grant. That's just a few. I wrote it down because I knew I was gonna forget. So,
You're good. I wasn't expecting Charlie Chaplin to come in, and that's a lot of respect because
Oh,
he is
I
good.
love him.
Yeah,
Mhm.
to do a silent movie and not be able to, there's no dialogue and you're just basically doing physical comedy, and it's still funnier than most things today. Like, I've
Oh,
seen a
yeah.
couple things with him, and
Exactly.
I'm dying. I'm like, "Wow," and then I go see a movie today, and I'm like,
Right? It's just crazy. And, they had nothing but string and a penny and just nothing, they had nothing, and so
yeah, and then
yeah.
you mentioned, Cary Grant. I'm reading his autobiography right now.
Oh, really? How is it?
It's good so far, but my god, I thought I had it rough. No. Well,
Yeah?
Cary Grant had it rough at the beginning, like, he's a really, really good actor. I've been watching more of his stuff
Mhm.
and just impressed with how, I mean, that to have that kinda charisma in a time.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, he's quick. I mean, the way he does, like, he does this, One Thing
God.
About Being a Baby that makes me laugh.
Yo, yes.
Yeah,
Mm.
and like, he jumps in the air and
Oh,
I'm
and
not gonna
he
say a
was with
word,
a
but he
rope. Yeah.
says this word,
Yeah.
makes me laugh 'cause it's, obviously
Yeah.
meanie,
Mhm.
pitch perfect
It
comedy. Now I
is.
know about Timothy Chalamet 'cause if I remember correctly, now hopefully this is, let's go 3 for 3 here, hold on here. Weren't you really trying to get that Marty Supreme drop?
Hell yeah, yeah.
That was
I made it
jacket.
my mission, yes. I made it my mission, and I got it, yes.
Good for you, 'cause you were so excited. I remember seeing him like, "Man, I really hope Jay gets it," 'cause
Yo.
it sucks when you want something and you don't get it, you're kinda like,
Yo,
but you
yeah,
really,
and it's
really.
like and I do, like, love clothing, like, so just having that in my wardrobe, just I was like, "I need it," like, that shit looks so fly, you know what I'm saying?
But, yeah, I mean, Timothy Chalamet, very good actor, having a little bit of a hard time right now, that Marty Supreme rollout really started off hot and just like
Mhm.
some parts of
Oh,
that
man.
movie, yeah, he took a big tumble. What do you think is do you think Timothy Chalamet needs to just what do you think was the reason why people were just going after him?
Well, I mean, besides the ballet comments, I just the marketing, just the marketing approach for Marty Supreme, people felt like he was trying too hard for the Oscars and, just but like that was his character, in the movie. So I can totally understand why he, was acting the way he was acting. And like, come on, like it's a movie about ping pong. Like, who's really gonna go see that? Like, not the the general audience, but like, Tennessee fans and A24 fans are gonna show up, of course. But like, come on. So I mean, he got everyone in the seats, so that's a win.
But, like, do you have any what about actresses? Is there some that you're like, "Let
Yeah,
me check."
Emma Stone, of course, Jennifer Lawrence, that's my girl. Um, let's see, Nicole Kidman, um, Anya Taylor-Joy, Zendaya, of course, Hunter Schafer, uh, Elizabeth Olsen, of course. That's all I can think about right now, but yeah,
No,
I'm
you
sure
did
I
not
have some
say
more.
one bad actor. In fact, I'm about to age myself again, Jay. There's a lot of aging going on here. I saw Elizabeth Olsen's breakout movie, which was like Martha. It's like 4 M's. It's like a name. It's a movie where you might like it. I'll have to send it to you, but she plays a girl who goes like she comes and visits her sister. I think it's Sarah Paulson, and you kind of find out that she was part of a cult, like basically like a cult where and it's kind of like a psychological thriller.
Mhm,
But yeah,
okay.
Nicole Kidman's. Let me tell you, Nicole Kidman, whatever she's doing to maintain this greatness that she has done for so many decades. I mean, it's insane. I mean, she's even doing Oscar-worthy performances in the AMC ad. It's crazy.
I know. Man, I still have not watched that ad, and I wanna see it.
Oh, really?
No, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Let me tell you. They need to do a new ad because they
Really?
just basically use the same ad, and then they did, like, the, uh, the B-roll versions where there's different versions of that same one, but they yeah, and I'm over here like, "Okay, we're gonna have to pay Nicole Kidman to,
Just
do it,"
redo one,
'cause
yeah.
I see it so much, but it's kind of concerning for me is that are people gonna start thinking when they mention Nicole Kidman, are people gonna be like, "Oh, that's that actress from The Others or Eyes Wide Shut or Baby Girl," or they're gonna be
Mhm.
like, "Oh, that's the blonde girl from the AMC commercial. Like, I always worry that people are gonna associate her as, like a not a iconic actress, just like, "Oh, she's the
Mhm.
AMC." You know what I mean?
Mhm. Kinda like
Now
the younger generation.
yeah, so when you go to movies, do you have a specific format? Do you like IMAX or Dolby or,
Oh, so never been to a Dolby. Well, I did once when I visited, Florida, but really wanna get into Dolby. But, Regal has RPX, so I don't really go to that format, but IMAX is my I love that format, and I always try to go see a movie in IMAX, especially, like, the ones that are, like, filmed in IMAX, filmed for IMAX. Um, I just love the scale. The bigger the size of the screen, like, I just love it.
I love IMAX. I mean, they should be like the Patrick edition, take a shot every time he mentions the movie theater or some old movie from the past. But when the first Avatar came out, I went and scoped out multiple theaters for IMAX, looking for the
Really.
perfect IMAX, right?
Mhm.
We finally found it and we watch Avatar and I'm blown away. I'm like, IMAX is something and I turn around
Yeah.
and all my friends took shifts falling asleep. You know? Right?
What?
Yeah, and this was like you have to remember, this is when they did only midnight. You had to wait till midnight,
Okay, yeah, yeah.
and, oh, I hated that. I personally don't like the midnights. I know some people do. I think actually I know, you collect physical media.
Mhm.
Now, are you a f you're a big you mentioned some iconic actors, so I know you're into the Criterion Collection, right?
Yes.
So next
Yes.
Criterion sale at Barnes& and Noble, they do the 50% off.
Yes.
What are
Can't wait
you
for that.
if you're gonna I assume you're gonna participate, but what are
Mhm.
you gonna pick up? What's on the list? Like, must-haves for this sale?
Okay, so I keep putting these films off because it's like, I need this or, like, but
Mhm.
I want everything. But definitely Blowout with John Travolta. Need that in my collection. After Hours, that's gonna be a blind buy. Um, Brief Encounter, need that. Malcolm X, oh my god, I've been putting that off for too long, like, it's 'cause I want, like, other things, but definitely Malcolm X. I'm going to double dip, double buy, Funny Girl because apparently I have the Blu-ray version and I need the 4K version, so definitely
Mhm.
gonna have that. Mm.
Plight of the physical media collector is you get the Blu-ray, you're like, "I need 4K
Yes.
combo," right?
Yes. Yes.
I bought it blind from the Girl. I have yet to see it.
Oh, so
I
good.
I bought it because, once again, we're gonna go back in time, Jay. Give me a second here. But, do you remember the show Glee?
Oh, yes, yo, I love Glee. I got the physical media, the whole show.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so
Yes.
I had an ex-girlfriend that was real big into musicals, and she loved Glee, and I watched it from most of the early seasons. I think I kinda checked out after that one season when,
Mhm.
after the actor who played Finn died, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember the Funny Girl, they would mention all these things, and so yeah, I don't know if I've met a Glee or Gleek fan,
Gleek,
how
uh-huh.
old school it is, but yeah, I don't know how well that's doing because there's a lot of problems with that show outside of the show, like, people have
Oh,
died.
yeah.
There's one of them who
So
died that's
many.
in big trouble, like, whoa, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so many. I watched that they made, like, that documentary thing about Glee, like, the behind the scenes of it, and yeah, I think it was on Hulu, and, like, apparently, like, people from, like, like, not the actors, but, like, the set people, like, the set decorators and stuff like that, one of them died, and it was just, like, a curse, like, everyone was dying on that show, but yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's cool that yeah, I didn't think Glee would ever come back up. Like, there's sometimes you watch something and you kinda go like,
Mhm.
"Will it ever come back? Like, will people watch this, like, 10 years later?" Because a
Right.
lot of people don't like musicals, But,
Mhm.
I it introduced me to that world and it really paid off when things came
Mm.
on later. Other movies would become, musical movies
Mhm.
theaters, and then I've now become a, fan, and so, like, I
Yeah.
champion that people should check them out. So it's nice to hear there's a fellow fan out there, and,
Yes.
didn't even know
Yes.
they released a whole collection on DVD. I didn't even know if they even finished it, but now I know.
Right, yes, yes. They sell it at Walmart, and that's where I got it.
One loves DVDs, by the way. They're really like, I am
Yeah.
not a DVD fan, by the way, because
Me neither, but
yeah, what are we gonna do? We have no
I mean,
choice.
yeah, I've watched, an Audrey Hepburn movie on DVD, and the quality, I was like, "Oh my god," like, I can barely see, like, what's it's, like, so pixelated, you know? And I can imagine, like, back then, like, our younger selves would be like, "This is, like, so clear," like, it looks so clear to us, but it's just crazy, like, the DVD world. But, I have a bunch, you know, and I don't wanna get rid of it because it's just been passed down to my dad, me, you know? So, I'm
Yeah,
never gonna get rid of it, so
don't. I had
mhm,
1,000 DVDs and I got rid of them. I had spoke about this briefly, and I sold them for Funko Pops. I still love Funko, but I'm going back to physical media. And yeah,
mhm,
Blu-rays are the way to go. I would always say upgrade, and then
mhm,
you have sentimental value. Hey, check that out as a movie reference. But definitely keep it because you won't regret it. I mean, it takes up space, but yeah, DVDs. Let me tell you, when you said the younger, I knew you were doing. You're trying to make this old guy feel good. Yeah, when I saw it on DVD, I'm like, "Woo, this is really uh
mhm,
comfortable. Like this is good." But then like I watched like Jenna Ortega has a movie called The Fallout that was on the HBO Max, and they
mhm.
released it on DVD, and I watched it on DVD, and I'm just like, why are they doing this to me? We have better technology. Just release
Yeah.
it on Blu-ray. Like Netflix does it too, and so does I think Euphoria is only on DVD too. Like they want
I got it, and it's on DVD, and I'm like, "Why?"
and because they want you to subscribe and keep paying their ridiculous price raises. It's insane. Now, this is a question that I haven't asked anybody yet, but it makes sense because what we're gonna review.
Mhm.
Favorite buddy cop duo.
21 Jump Street, Rush Hour, definitely. Um, Zootopia. Come on. Um, there's Let's Be Cops. That's what it's called, Let's Be Cops. It's like, it's came out in the 2000s, I think, and
I
it's
was not
like they pretend to be cops and, like, get into some shit. It's pretty funny. And there's another one, National Security with Martin Lawrence.
yeah, and Steve's on. It's funny,
That's
Let's Be
hilarious.
Cops, you would not have liked me in the back in the day. I was not having it with that movie. Like I said, very notorious for comedy.
Mhm.
That was my
It
favorite genre. But if it like, I cared too much about Rotten Tomato scores back in the day. And
Okay.
I used to do theater checks, so I would see it, and I'm not laughing, But maybe, now I haven't seen it. Maybe one day we'll check it out
Mhm.
together, and maybe it will be good or
Yeah.
not. But it's different being older, you'll experience this too. Maybe you have already, but like you'll be not you'll be reluctant to check out certain movies, and then one day you're just like, let's check it out, and then you realize
Yeah.
the more times you actually are willing to just check some out, even if you're not fully sold. Sometimes that turns out to be the best experiences. You're like, "Oh, I didn't know I was gonna like that movie."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Um,
Yes.
yeah, so, yeah, I'm gonna put that on my watch list, Let's Be Cops, and then it'd be really funny if I message you and just give you that face. But you know what? It's okay, though.
Yeah.
If you pick something that I don't like, vice versa, that's part of the game. Like, I'm not gonna hound you, like everyone
Mhm.
like, "Oh, you have bad taste." I was shocked, though. I didn't think that would ever, come up, but I'm glad that there's a fan of it because it did do decent when I had worked at the theater.
Yeah. It's just one of those that, like, when you're just like, you don't wanna put anything too serious on, or, like, you're not in the mood for this, you just wanna put something on. That's most comedies, I just put it on and just relax, smoke, and just chill, and just and just laugh, and then go to sleep.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I and my last question actually, my last 2 questions for the introduction. Which of these directors do you think is the best at creating and capturing action? Here are the choices: John Woo, Michael Bay, James Cameron, David Leitch, George Miller, Chad Stahelski. I don't know why I struggle with that.
Oh.
Confusing.
Okay, so I've never seen a John Woo film, so I know. But I'm gonna go with Michael Bay. Sorry, George Miller. He's great, but, like, I was always a fan of, like, the Transformers, And I don't know, he just does so much big explosions, and I just love it. It's, like,
Listen,
just so
I'm all for it because at the end of the day, you say you haven't seen John Wick. Wait till you see a
yeah.
John Wick movie and then go back to watch the movie we just watched to review, and you're gonna
Mhm,
wait a minute. That's what I did in this showing.
mhm.
I was like, wait a minute. The influence is
Yeah,
unbelievable. But Michael Bay, like, he gets a lot of flack, but I can give him his credit. He
mhm.
created a lot of good action. It may not be the best, but it's one of the most famous. He's one of the most
Oh, yeah.
famous of, and the Transformer movies I have a special place for the first one because
Same.
I saw it there. Actually, crazy. I saw it in 2007, and then I go back to the theater last year, the same exact theater I saw it in. I saw it again. So imagine that, and then feeling
Really.
extremely old and seeing people with their kids, and they're talking about how exciting it was, like, "Yeah, when I first saw
Mhm.
this," and I look at myself and I go, "Oh my god, you've become
Uh,
that guy. You're that old guy."
right?
Older guy at the concession stand, and
Mhm.
he's cool about it, but in my mind, he's probably going, "Ain't got nothing else to do, huh? You trying to relive the glory days, huh? But you have a good day, Patrick." But no,
Hey, hey,
that's
the
huge.
nostalgia, man.
Yeah, the first Transformers, special for me. Second is always iconic for how much I was like, "What the hell?" You know?
Mhm.
And the third one, I'm just like, "Okay." And then by the time
Yeah.
we get to all the other ones until we get to Bumblebee and Rise of the Beast, I think is those are the 2 I liked out of the
Mhm.
other ones. But Michael Bay, there's no wrong answer with that because if you look at this list, they've all created something iconic.
Oh,
Um
yeah, for sure.
Actually, I'm sure I'm gonna get flack with David Leitch because I don't know if people would agree with that, but he does create, you know, The Fall Guy's fine. Deadpool 2, fine. You know what I mean? Like, people are so critical of these guys. I hate to be a director right now, you know what I mean? Or anything because it's ridiculous. Like,
It's
yeah,
any little thing, you get flamed.
yeah. That's why you and I are just like, "Hello, have a good day" on Twitter and just walk
Right?
out 'cause we don't want to deal with it?
Exactly.
And then my last question, what are some of your favorite action movies?
Taken. Love Taken. Mhm. Um, of course, Wanted. I've always wanted to curve the bullet. I thought that was so cool.
Mhm.
The Woman King, that just came out, like, 2020s, 2, 3, but that one's really good. Viola Davis. God, she's amazing. Um, Kill Bill. I just watched Kill Bill for the first time when it came out.
All Bloody
That was
Fair.
awesome. That was great. Speed. Love Speed.
Wow,
That's,
yeah, let's take a shot here. Here we go. Yeah, I saw Speed in theaters too.
damn.
Crazy. My dad would take me to movies all the time. I would see rated R
Mhm.
movies, kid movies, so I saw them all, like yeah,
Yeah,
Speed was one that I remember because I was like, "What a" as a kid, I never spoke, I was just so wrapped up in it, and I just remember being like, "What a crazy thing, I'm never taking the bus."
right?
Like, absolutely, and he goes, "Well, you never take the bus, so what are you worried about? I pick you up, like, what are you talking about?" I'm just like
How do you
yeah.
think I felt? Like, I'm from New York, so it's like taking the bus, I was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, I thought so. I thought you were from New York. I have
Yeah.
to say I've been to New York once, and what an experience. When you're from California, it's like day and night because you can walk around
Mhm.
Manhattan at, like, early in the morning. Cannot walk around LA like that. You're not making it. I'm telling you, you're not making it. But, yeah, New York is a really cool place. I'd love to go back. I
Mm,
went to New Jersey a little bit too. It's kinda funny when you go from New York to New Jersey and, like, people don't like New Jersey. I don't know why, but it was
they
fine.
don't.
I would have chosen John Woo. I'm really big into John Woo right now. He's really,
Mhm,
changed like, I used to love him as a kid, but now I love him even more. I think he's super underrated, and then,
mhm.
some of my favorite action movies would be, well, John Woo again, so it'd be The Killer, Hard Boiled.
Killer.
Taken was cool. I remember watching Taken. I screened that actually, by the way. I think I screened that.
Yeah?
I don't know if you've worked at a movie theater, right?
No.
Okay. So, yeah, movie theaters, they'll screen movies ahead of time to make sure there's
Mhm,
nothing wrong with them. I
mhm.
screened Taken, and that was cool, and,
Did you, like, get to watch the whole thing or just, like, little
oh, yeah, 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 yeah. When you screen it, you
yeah?
have to watch it, and you actually have to pay attention because, This is when like the theater I worked at, Ultra Star Cinemas, and I don't think they're around anymore. They were famous for their tagline, "The home of the digital cinema." The only place that the first theater chain that had digital cinema. So we had the hard drives, and so we'd have to watch them and make sure that there's no issues. Because if there was an issue, like it kind of skipped or something, you had to
Mhm,
contact
okay.
you immediately, and they had to ship like next day the um the hard drive, you know. And so I screened a few movies. Up, I did not want to do that, and then I walked out being like that was one of my favorite movies of all time.
Look
Uh,
at that.
Haunting of Connecticut, I had to do. I didn't want to do that because I wasn't into horror. That was a different Patrick. Patrick was like,
Damn.
this is actually, I'm not even gonna say what I said, but it was pretty bad. I remember them being like, "Come on, it'll be fun. Like, let's see you get scared." And then this
Mhm.
is me during the theater. I'm just looking down at every point of where it's gonna jump so I can look cool. You know, yeah, I saw one of the last Friday the 13th in theaters.
Wow, that's
That
pretty cool, man.
Yeah, I did Star Trek, the 2009 one, and as a Star Wars fan, I
Okay.
put up that front that was gonna be bad. I was like, "Ugh," and they're like, "Let's find out." That's how real it was when
Understandable.
I like Star Trek, but in 2009, Patrick's like, "Star Wars is the best thing ever," you know?
Mhm.
It still is to me. Shockingly, I still love Star Wars. I don't I'm a lifelong fan. I have preferences of which I like better, like because I saw you like Star Wars. We were talking about this off recording, but
Of Star Wars.
do you have a particular favorite trilogy?
Of course, the sequels, like the Anakin ones. Yeah.
Everybody, it's funny, I'm coming
I
up.
just grew up in that time, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I like them and I appreciate
Mhm.
when I watch them, I get frustrated within I get constant I'm like reacting when I'm at home. Oh, some of the acting's a little dull, and it's kinda hard, but as a Star Wars fan, I don't like people I don't like other Star Wars fans that hound other fans about what they like. It's okay to like the prequel trilogy or the sequel trilogy
Or
or
the
Rebels. I
yeah.
love the trilogy. That's gonna always resonate with me the most. I think they're personally the best movies all of them, but I'm not gonna I will disagree with people, but I'm not gonna sit here and berate them and be like, "You have terrible."
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
without the prequels, Star Wars won't, like without that, like it would have we probably would never got the sequel trilogy, to be honest. We needed
Mhm.
those prequels. And I think at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with just having fun with Star Wars. People take it too serious. Like
Exactly.
it's not life or death, okay? And this is coming from a
Yeah.
Last Jedi fan who has to sit here
And
and
that's fine. Like, you like The Last Jedi, like,
yeah, and then I'm
that's
hearing
okay.
I don't love Star Wars. Like you don't like, how could you love that? It challenges
I
everything you
know.
love. And I'm like,
It
dude,
it it undoes Luke's character, and I'm just like, "Just chill."
okay, in 30 years, if you're the same person, please, please come get me. Okay. 'Cause I'm not even the same person I was when I worked at the movie theater, because if we went to
Exactly.
that version of myself, you would say, "I don't really think I think you care too much about other people's opinions. Yeah, I don't think you
Mhm.
really love movies." Where now I'm like, "Don't read the critics' reviews." And that's not a diss on critics, it's just I want people to go watch it first,
For
then you
themselves,
go
yeah.
read people's
And then
reviews.
yeah,
Or look at
mhm.
people's reviews and not be swayed not to see, be like, "Okay, maybe I don't know what that means, I'll go find out myself," you know? But that concludes the introduction. Now, I tell everybody this. I know it's long, Jay. I'm sorry. I want to talk.
I'm having a good time.
So you're kicking off a new monthly thing.
Tomorrow Comes Movie Podcast presents Woo. Now that's what I call action.
And it's all about action, but with limited use of martial arts. Because I have something coming up with martial arts that I'm a huge
Okay.
arts guy. So this one more focused on crazy stunts, explosions, car chases, over the top ridiculous things. And the funniest part is you heard the first part of it, Woo, right? Nobody has picked a John Woo movie for this series yet. And it's so funny because when you picked Bad Boys 2, I was dying because I never know what people are gonna pick. And I'm not judging. I love the fact I want
Mhm.
people whatever they want. But it was so funny because I didn't think Bad Boys would even make the cut, to be honest. I was
I'm
so con
surprised you put it on there.
I did because I went through the action movies and then I see a bunch and they're like, they have a lot of martial arts. I wanna save that for something else. And
Mhm.
then Bad Boys 2 was funny because I was very critical of it the, last time I saw it for the 4th one. But before we get into this, I'm gonna give some movie facts, and then we'll start the
Mhm.
review, and I'm gonna ask you a couple questions. So here are
Okay.
the movie facts. Released on July 18th, 2003. Yes, I was there. Jay, take a shot.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I think I even saw it bootleg too later on, like with a camera,
Really?
old school
Yeah.
old school. It's directed by Michael Bay, stars Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, Gabrielle Union, and I'm gonna probably butcher this name, Joe Pantoliano. Maybe I got that right. And the synopsis of this film is Miami's finest, Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett, which I thought was Bennett for the longest time, so I felt like a moron when I was typing this, are back at it and are tasked with investigating ecstasy being imported to Florida at an alarming rate. Now, I'm gonna look over here real quickly. If you haven't seen Bad Boys 2, I would probably be dumbfounded because I don't think there's one person on this earth that has not seen Bad Boys
Mhm.
2. It's so iconic for so many people, and it's Will Smith. If you haven't, though, go ahead, press pause, press play on the movie, come back, and then listen to Jay and I talk about it. And he's about to find out how I really feel about this movie. I like it, by the way. But here we go. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's talk movies. So, first question off the bat, why did you choose this movie?
Okay, so the list that you sent over, that was the only film that I've already seen. And some of the movies on the list is in my watch list, but like these past 2 weeks have been so chaos because I just moved into a new apartment and like trying to catch up with movies, work, and trying to catch up with these shows, trying to get through, and it's just a little too much right now. So I felt like Bad Boys 2, since I've already seen it, I'm already like kind of prepared. I just needed a little refresher. So that's why I picked it. And I mean, I love Martin Lawrence and Bad Boys. I like the new one. So I was like, cool. Right.
But Bad Boys 2, it's a good choice. Now, I do like the Bad Boys movies. I saw here, take a shot. I saw the original Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2, and I saw the 4th one in theaters. Missed the 3rd one.
Hmm.
Kinda came when I
Yeah.
in a time where I couldn't catch it, right?
I
Did
did
you
not
catch
see the
all of them?
third one.
Okay.
Not the third one.
Now, I did see him. I finally caught up on them. And Bad Boys 2 is kind of hailed as the best Bad Boys movie, right? Like, that's kind of the general consensus. Well, Patrick's about to show you guys, but Bad Boys 2, let's go back to as you watch it now, but, like, see if you can let's see if you remember even, like, when you first saw it. Like, what were some of your first impressions of the movie after it ended?
I was like, this wasn't entertaining. That was just my first reaction. Like, that was entertaining. Um, I can't remember when I first saw it because so like all the movies, like all the action movies that I've mentioned, I've watched them because of my dad. Like he was always in control of the TV, so I didn't have any say on what to watch. So, and that's his go-to action. And so I would just sit there and watch it. And I'm like, it's pretty funny. I'm just enjoying it, you know? And it was just, I was spending time with my dad. So I was just like, I don't care. I'm watching anything that he watches. So that was just my first thought about how I felt about watching Bad Boys 2. But just Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, I watched all of most of their movies, so I'm really familiar with them. And Martin Lawrence is classic. Like I've watched his show, like all about Martin, and he's like my type of comedy. So
Now, this is not gonna be a take a shot edition here, but yeah, you know what's crazy? I've never seen an episode of Mara. Is that crazy?
God, that is crazy.
Yeah, like, everyone says it's great, and that, like,
So
I'm missing
good.
out, and I'm like, I also have never seen an episode of SNL. Isn't that crazy? Like,
Okay, me neither.
okay, we're good company. We're not
Yes.
missing anything, okay? I'm gonna just say it right now. I don't care what people tell me. But Mar I should watch because I do like Martin Lawrence. Because like, my first impressions, I remember seeing this as a kid, so
Mhm.
About to age myself here. How old was I in 2003? Oh,
3, yeah.
um, oh my. I think I'm oh no. I don't
I
know.
was like 4.
You
I
were
was like
4?
4.
Oh my goodness.
4
Listen
or
to
5, yeah.
think I am 10 years older than you, so I'm about maybe 13 when it came out, or
Okay.
14. No, I'll be 14 because yeah. Oh my god, what happened to the time? But I remember seeing it with my dad. My dad loved movies, and he loved the action movies. He loved it. He was having the time of his life. I loved it too. I'm like, "Oh, this is the funniest thing," but the thing that came to my mind was, like, you entertaining, but I was like, "This is what a blockbuster." These are the movies that really get the whole crowd in sync.
Mhm.
We're having a good time. And I remember just being like, "This is awesome." And then I go watch it, what, 2 years ago when the last one came out, or a year? I don't know.
It yeah.
Yeah. And Patrick's not having that same, I'm just like, it's very entertaining, and I still love it for the nostalgia, but there's a lot of unnecessary humor in this, in my opinion, that could be taken out because the humor that is working. Look, I'm getting so upset here. I'm like punching my thing over here. There is a like, you're right, Martin Lawrence and Will Smith are magic. That you can't manufacture that type of chemistry. It's natural, it's so good. 2 actors
Mhm.
who have comedic one's was a former was a comedian, before an actor, but yet he's translated so well to bring his humor into acting. It's like you go to the movies because you want to hang out with Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett,
Mhm.
like their adventures. They're different than regular law enforcement. They got style, they got a little bit of charisma and flair to it. So I remember just being like,
Mhm.
whoa, the explosions are good. Now I'm kind of like, the explosions are still pretty badass. There's a lot of borrowing in that influence, and then yeah, I'm like, let's trim a little bit because I didn't realize it was 2.5 hours. Again,
Okay,
yeah,
that's just my one negative take on this, like, it was just too long for me, and, uh, you can chop some stuff down for sure.
yeah, and so before we go to the good parts, let me tell you about the things I didn't like. Yeah, so I think if you just trim some of the fat, because there's a lot of scenes that I like the mortuary scene, right? Love that. Love the opening scene. Because, there's nothing
Mhm.
exciting than seeing racist people get what they rightfully deserve, and it's even better with
Yes.
Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett doing it because, like, the way they come out, that's such a cool shot.
Yep,
Boom.
guns
Yeah, and
flowing.
did you
Mhm.
see Michael Shannon?
Michael Shannon. Who's that?
He is
It
in
was
Night
that one of the
he's been in, he was in The Night Before. He was the drug dealer with Seth Rogen movie. Watch, if you look him up, you might recognize him. He's been in
sure.
a lot of movies, but this is a Michael Shannon that nobody knows. He's not gonna get famous for another, like,
Was he one of the KKK members?
yeah, he was the
Yeah,
one
oh,
that put in the trunk. Yeah,
yeah, okay, him, I knew he looked familiar, I knew it. Yeah.
yeah. I'm eagle-eyed, like, my mind,
Mhm.
like, I'm immediately, like, Michael Shannon, like, I didn't know that at the time, but looking back on him, yeah, and so I love those scenes, especially the first scene. First scene's really good, it's in sync. And then we get to, like,
Mhm.
the mortuary scene, or we get like, you can spoil anything, you can jump and stuff,
Oh,
but
okay.
there's a lot of scenes, like, when he's on ecstasy, it's good, and then it gets really strange where, like, I'm just like, "This is me with scissors." I'm like, "Let's cut a little bit because some of it sometimes I think there's too much when there doesn't need
Mhm.
to be, because it's
That's
perfect.
fair.
You get it. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
it's, like, basically, like, the way I like my comedy, I guess, is like how I like to buy, um my proteins at the grocery store. I want an 80% lean, maybe like a 20
It's fi
what percent
yeah.
fat, but, like, here, it's like it's a lot of fat for me. But I like,
Mhm.
I that my only issue is it's a little too long, and there's some unnecessary humor, excuse me, and then there's some weird things in there that I'm just like, "Why is that in there?" But then again, it's 2003, right? It's a different time.
Different time, yeah.
So
No, and that's a fair critique too.
and let's flip it. Now, is there any particular highlights of the movie of Bad Boys 2 that you really like or really fond of?
Um, I mean, the the mortician scene, what that was my favorite. But, um, those 2 scenes, like the KKK one and the mortician scene, those were, like, the highlights for me, like, for real. And, like, the slow-mo of the bullet, like stuff like that. That's what was really doing it for me.
Yeah. I mean, they're good scenes. Like I said, I like both scenes. Well, the opening scene to me is perfect. You're not. It doesn't get any better in my opinion of the humor being 100%.
Uh, but
It's 100%.
mhm,
The mortuary
there
scene.
mhm.
There's
There
some
was
things.
this one scene that it was when they were going to the nightclub and the camera was going into the vent and like going up and like the blue lit scene like in the club, and it was like the shower heads coming down like kind of like Blade in a way, but like and that was what I was really like the stylistic of those kind of scenes.
And we probably don't notice that as kids when we watch it, but as adults, we see that and go, "Wow, that's cool." Like, 'cause that to me was actually that was another one, and also, another similar shot was the rotating, shot when they're going
When
after the
the
guy. Yeah,
Yeah, the Haitian guys, yeah.
it's
That
so good.
that love that scene. Mhm.
Yeah, I'm like, Michael Bay gets a lot of flack, but I'm like, that's a really
That's
we need
pretty
to
cool,
give
come
credit
on.
where credit's due. That was such an exhilarating shot because it could totally fall apart if you don't have the right way to film it and also the right actors. And when you have Will
That
Smith and Martin
mhm.
Lawrence in humor that works, it's ridiculous and it's so good. Yes, the visual, there's some visual things. I think there's another scene too where one of my favorite scenes is at the end where they get the call about Sid and a shot that kind of like comes down and we see the two guys rise. And I'm pretty sure that was in
Yes,
the trailer,
yes.
by the way, but it's a really cool shot. So like I said, Michael Bay gets a lot of flack, but he's great in these movies. And also the action, right? The action is
Oh
insane,
my god.
you know?
Like that one when, on the highway with the boat, just like
Yeah.
they were like throwing cars, and like just the humor there, and like, the big all explosions, and that's what I was talking about, like, it's just so, like, grand, so, like, I mean, is it necessary? I mean, to be that big and, no, but, like, it's just so cool to see.
Yeah. I mean, like if it wasn't as big as it was, it may not have had the same effect. People would be like, oh, Bad Boys is all right. But that's why that's an action. Now, I'm a the only my only I love the same scene, but the only difference is there's a couple scenes in that when the cars are being thrown where Mike and Marcus are having a back and forth, and most of it works, but then there's a couple weird things they're saying. And I'm like, okay, enough. We get it. We get these black boys are gonna say ridiculous things, you know. And then of course they fix it when Marcus shoots the inside of the car. Then
Yes, yes, yes.
back to where I want it to go because that's hilarious. He's like, "Shoot people outside, like, what are you doing?" Like, that's funny, but yeah, there's some parts
Yeah,
I wanna trim, like, in the mortuary scene, I'm like the ecstasy scene where the pills go into the that's great because
that was pretty
right
cool.
in there, it's gonna get ridiculous. It's gonna get and then we get to the Captain Howard, they get over there. Now that scene was hard for me because a lot of it to me doesn't work, and my brother saw it, and he was dying as a kid, and as a teenager, I'm looking at him, I'm like, "You're a moron." You're a moron, like,
Yeah,
it's not as fun as it used to be, but then there's a couple parts in that scene where I mean, like, where I'm like, "Ah, it worked." So, like, a lot of the movie comes down to me being like, I enjoyed it, but then, like, this is the first actual episode where I've actually verbally have said, like, "I don't like this," because like, a lot of people complain, "You don't find any critiques in a movie, you're not doing it right," and I don't necessarily think that's 100% true. I think you don't if you like a movie, sometimes there's really nothing there that you can critique. You're just like, "Oh, it was good." That what I mean? I don't know if you're like that, but yeah, some people
no, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, like, there's some times where I would see a movie in theaters and I'm just like, "Okay, that's cool." Like, I thought it was okay. There's nothing really, um, like, it just didn't work for me, you know? And, like, that's okay. And, like, everybody has their opinions. Um, don't dog on somebody if you don't have the same opinion as them, and, what you're saying right now, like, we have total opposite opinions, and, like, I love to hear that feedback from you, and, like, and to a degree, I can be like, "Oh, I agree with you," you know? And that's what makes it interesting, like,
Mhm.
sometimes we don't all have to agree, and it's I need some it gets a little I would say boring when you find like when you agree on everything. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like there's should be room for some pushback. Because sometimes I might not see something that you might see. And I just like that discussion and just talking about it. So right now, I'm just loving what you're saying about the humor and stuff like that because me personally, I feel the opposite, and that's okay.
Yeah, and that's okay. Like I mean, personally, I mean, if I had my way, would have been a little different, but most of it would have stayed the same. It just would have been like, let's cut out like one or quit. But that's okay. I'm not gonna deter somebody. I'm just like, if you like Bad Boys 2, I remember I posted my rankings and it was fourth, by the way. Oh my god, people are like,
Really? Yeah.
yeah, they're like, and this because I really love the last two. I really love
Mhm.
the last two, and I love the first one. But I don't think it's a Bad Boys movie. Hey, look at that. It's yeah, but like but it can easily be offset because as soon as there's something I'm like, "Oh, I'm not feeling that," something good comes along the way next, and then I'm like, "Okay, this is," you know what I mean? But I love Will Smith and Martin Lawrence together. I have so much fun with these guys. That's why like pop duos do successful ones, the best ones,
Exactly.
is that you're like, "I don't want this to end. I wanna hang out with them as much as I
Yeah.
can." That's why iconic ones like we've talked about Rush Hour, we've talked about one that didn't get mentioned. I don't know if you're a fan of it, but it's considered one of the best. But I know why people don't talk about it anymore. As soon as I mention it, Lethal Weapon's another one that people like.
Well, I haven't watched it, so
Very good. We can acknowledge that. I'll acknowledge the movies are good. We know that one of the people in that movie maybe not so good in real life, but yeah, that's an iconic one. But yeah, when I watched this with these two guys, and Michael Bay, it's like magic. It's just fun. I know when I'm even if I have gripes about it, I know when I go in there, I am gonna have fun. And I did. I remember like sometimes I'd be upset, I'm like, ugh. And then as soon as I'm happy, I'm like, Jay picked a good movie. Like this brings me back to that time I saw it.
yeah.
And so it's funny because a lot of these questions we kind of like morphed into where I don't have to ask
I
them.
know, I know.
But
Um,
it's all good though, because that's what makes these conversations all different, and this is an easy movie for me to kind of not have to ask every question because it kind of morphs in when we start kind of conversing. But going to the humor, I wanna ask you this though, what do you think is your favorite section of the humor? Is there a particular moment or scene?
um, my favorite. Hmm. Honestly, like, there's not like a particular moment where I'm like, oh my god, this is my favorite. Like, just felt like that for the movie as a whole. Um, and like, but I will say, like, there's like, I have some written down here, some like little tidbit things when um when he shot the thing in the car, and then later on he was like on the phone with the insurance guy or like the body shop guy. He was like, it's $21,000 to fix. I thought that was hilarious.
That's a good one. That
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And I love when they sing the Bad Boy song. I
Mhm.
just love it. Like, come on, you cannot say Bad Boys without singing the song. Like, I used to watch the cop show all the time. So Bad Boys, Bad Boys. Like, I just love when they do that. And then the whole time, woosah, because like the stuff that they go through, like my anxiety, I would be so scared. I wouldn't be able to move like half the time because like they're always in life or death situations. And it's like you're so I can understand the whole therapy and the woosah, because it's so like, yes, you woosah, you got to like calm down and get your shit together in that moment, especially like, you're a cop, you gotta be on point. But oh, and then the back and forth with the two Spanish dudes and the yeah,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
was like, yeah, he was like, "Isn't there a Ricky Martin concert to go to?" That like stuff like that, that just gets me. It's hilarious. I mean, you can't do that nowadays, but like,
But that's the joke is when they're going this back and forth, one of them will throw out something that crosses the line, the guy's like, "Hey, man,
we
that crossed the line." It is so that's perfect comedy because they're not really making fun of that person,
yeah,
the background. What they're making fun of is that there's a line apparently, out of
yeah,
nowhere, the line
yeah.
came, "Ricky Martin?" Like, "Oh, hold on here. Now you." That is perfect. See, you understand comedy, and that's like, I have this thing with people where, like, when they think they're funny, they're not funny. I always when someone tells me they're funny, I'm like, "Okay," and then they'll start doing jokes, and I'm like,
See, that's why I don't like stand-up comedy. That's why I probably don't like SNL, like, because 'cause you're trying to be funny, and it's not funny to me. But, like, when you're just doing something, I find it funny because 'cause you're not trying to be funny.
I did once go to a Dane Cook show and did not laugh once, and the whole group I was with was dying, and remember they looked
So
over and like, "Can't believe I bought a hoodie." I can't believe why did I do this to myself? Stand-up comedians are tough, but there can be some good ones. But yeah, yeah, that's what makes the Bad Boys really good. It's like there's like one of my favorite humor is the dead bodies thing, and Captain Howard's like, "I can't believe you killed a bunch of people," and he's like, "Well, sir, they were already dead." Like, it's so ridiculous because he's not wrong, but the way he's saying it, he's like,
Yeah.
"Hey, Captain, like they're already dead. Like it's not on us." Or
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
or that scene with the car after he finds out how much it costs, and he asks the Captain Howard, he goes, "Do you guys have any incentive to take care of this?" No, no,
And just like,
don't
"Nah."
take care of cars that are not ours. That's what we told you.
Yeah, yeah, to use yeah.
Perfect, you know? And then, like, the bad boy thing, you're right. It goes back to the beginning where, like, he doesn't Marcus does not remember it, and then we get to the end, and then they both don't really know it.
Yeah.
Mike is like, "You need to learn the words." That is funny. That's
Yes, yes,
good.
I
That's
agree.
why we come to Bad Boys because when that's hitting, Jay, the Patrick does not complain. You know, the scene where what was the scene? Oh, yeah, the scene about, like, at the ecstasy scene when he's, like, smelling the captain's hair. I'm like,
Yeah.
"What's happening here?" Like, you know what I mean? "What's happening here?" Like, "Come on," and then immediately they do another joke that works. If not every part of the humor hits, some of it will, and that's why people, like it. I went to go look at the Rotten Tomato score because I was so shocked. I was like, "I wonder
It was
how."
like, what, 23, right?
Yeah, and I know
It's like
that cannot be accurate with audiences because and I don't really care about the Rotten Tomato score, but I just wanna know. Curious because everyone says it's their favorite Bad Boy, so I'm like, maybe
me t yeah.
seeing this, and then I go look at the score and I go, "Well, some people hated it more than me, I guess," you know?
What was
Um,
the audience score?
I don't know, I didn't look, I should have looked at that, but I just was
It's
laughing because I was just like, "Oh my," like, I thought I was harsh on it, by the way. No, the critics are not. If you pull it up, let me know as I look for,
sure.
another, um okay, here we go. Now I know you like Mike and, Marcus. Is there any other characters that you liked in this movie?
Maybe the captain because he kept crashing out every time you saw him. But other than that, no. And the audience score was 78, so I think that was pretty good, yeah.
And it validates that argument that we see in the film community where if you like a movie and it gets bad reviews, the critics don't know what they're talking about. If it's a movie that critics like and you didn't like, you don't know they don't know what they're talking about, like,
Right.
yeah,
I
Kevin Howard,
swear.
Joe
Mhm.
I'm just gonna call him
You
Joe.
had it the first time. Yeah, Joe.
Yeah, I had it the first time, I lost it. But yeah, he's really good. Like I said, those 3 in a scene is perfect. Even if I don't find the humor funny, it's so good. Like that ecstasy scene actually, it's really strange, but I think Will Smith, Mike Lowry, and Captain Howard are good. It's
Yeah.
just I don't really like what Martin Lawrence. It's not that Martin Lawrence is bad at acting. I just thought it wasn't
No.
as top tier as some of the other stuff that he's done. When he gets shot in like one of my favorite
Which
uh,
is so
callbacks to humor.
nuts.
You'll get a good this one is when he gets shot, and that's a really cool shot when he gets shot in the butt. And then I think Mike Lowry comes over, and it's like kind of like let known that he's having some trouble in the bedroom, Marcus, and then he takes
Yeah.
the ecstasy, and he's like, "Yo, take me to my wife's
Take me
house.
home.
I'm ready to go." It's so funny because then I'm
Yeah.
like, "My god, that's something Marcus would say, right?" Uh, I did like Sid. I had a big crush on, Gabrielle
The
Union.
Gabriella
Well,
Union?
I mean, I
Me
still do.
too.
I mean, talk about looking the same for 20 something years, like, I would love
Right.
what that's like because I feel like I'm getting old and I'm looking terrible, I'm like, "What is the
Yeah.
secret sauce?" It's probably because I'm half white, that's what it comes down to. White people are aging by the time we hit 30, we're getting to Mount Rushmore levels of looking,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Crack.
it's okay to say because it's true, like, yeah, like, it's bad. Oh, okay, here's a good one. Is it a good idea to date your friend's sister?
Okay. Um, it's n it's not a good idea. I think it's messy, but well, especially when you know, like, your how your friend is, like, he's a player, he has, he's in the bed a lot, you know what I'm saying? So, and you don't want that for your sister. You want your sister to have better. But then it's like also on the other side, it's like she's a grown woman.
Mhm.
She knows how she makes her own choices. She knows how and he's been in the family for a long time.
Yeah.
So they know each other, they know, you know what I'm saying? So and it's like just give it a chance. I mean,
Yeah, I think you're right. I think at
it's
the end of the day, if you don't feel comfortable, don't do it. I mean, it's always funny when the situation because yeah, they grew up together, right? They're bad boys for life. They've known each other forever, right? And I always think of Martin Lawrence the way he's like Mike Lowry, like in the first one, the way he pretends Mike Lowry. And that's your brother, basically, right? Funny is when it comes to guys, and you've probably experienced this. It's so funny when guys have a sister, or they have a mom, or they have daughters. They all of a sudden, the minute that somebody they have any of these three, well, they have to have one of these for sure. But when they have daughters, in particular, the biggest dogs that you knew, like they were the notorious ladies, man. As soon as they have,
yeah.
it turns into no, no. You're just like did I remember you at that house party? You were acting wild. I mean,
I know. And
yes,
it's like it's crazy because the villain in this movie is like that with his daughter.
yeah,
Like he's really like protective, but he's a bad person, and he's doing all this stuff, but it's like you want her to close her ears because you're saying bad words, you know what
yeah,
I'm saying? But it's like look what she's seen. But uh but yeah, like just
yeah. I don't know why they like this because I've seen
yeah.
some of my guy friends, and I'm like, yo, relax. Like, you act like you've never been in that situation where you had to meet somebody. You're picking up your date. Like, let's go to Reggie real quickly here too, because it's good. One of the funniest scenes, one of the most iconic scenes in Bad Boys 2. I think it's such a good one because it definitely comes back later, and that's a great callback later on in another movie.
Yes.
This scene
Yes.
is so good because right then and there, this is top of their game. Will Smith, Mike Lowry, Martin Lawrence, Marcus Burnett. As soon as Reggie shows up, and he's a nice young man who's respectful, and he is getting put through the wire. And
15 years old.
yeah, 50 years. And the funniest part is Marcus and Mike are having some partnership issues in their relationship,
See, yeah.
and
But
they get
once he comes, yeah, Mike is like, just act like nothing ever happened. And
yeah.
I like that.
And it was so funny because like Will Smith talking the way he was talking to the poor rich priest, like,
with the drink too, like just drinking,
and that scene can't the thing about it, nobody gives him enough credit, but the actor, I have his name here, that plays Reggie, Dennis Green, I believe that's the name. What a good actor because you have to play that so serious that you have to really be in your element to make the other two really come to life is like, it's easy to just say, "Yes, sir," but he does it in such a
Yeah.
earnest way that it's like, how do you hate Reggie? Because he's like, "You gonna get some?" "No, sir." Like, do you the best part was the joke about being 30. Was like, "How old are you?" And the way Will Smith does it later on too, and that's when the humor is ran really well because then that's you're like, wait, how they both came up with him being 30? They weren't even in the same room at the time when they had said these, you know,
Yeah.
when Marcus said it originally. And oh my god! And then like Teresa Randall, Teresa, the wife comes and she's like, leave
Mhm.
him alone. At least you give him more time. And immediately they pound
Mhm.
a little bit, and then
Yeah.
it's so funny because guys do this
It's
with their ladies. As soon as the lady checks them, they'll say something like underneath their breath, and he says it to
yeah.
Reggie. Yeah, you better not be doing any of that. Teresa can.
Mhm.
That's
And it's
why
hilarious.
are so iconic because we can relate to it. We've all been in those scenarios. That's one of the most nerve-wracking thing with dating is even as an adult, you have to meet whoever you're dating's family or even friends, and you're constantly feeling like you're being judged. So yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'm Reggie every time. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. She's
Yes,
like,
sir, right? Yes, ma'am.
yeah, she's like, "It's ma'am. I'm not a sir." And I'm like, "Oh,
Mhm.
yes, sir. I mean, ma'am." And like Yeah, 'cause that's one of my favorite scenes. Isn't that funny?
Oh, yeah.
I'm over here just being like, I don't like a lot of the humor, but the
Hey,
Reggie
but
scene is my
it's so iconic, like, that's peak comedy right there, you know?
yeah. 'Cause, like, you saw Den of Thieves?
No. No, I
Okay.
did not.
They do a thing like that, but it's not funny. It's terrifying,
Oh
and,
my god.
like, that's scary when they're doing it real, but in this one, it's very good because it would not hit the same if there wasn't any humor, you know? Because like, imagine if that scene was really serious.
I know,
I'd
right?
be terrified for poor Reggie. I
Poor
don't even
Reggie, man.
I would've just like, "You know what? I think I have the wrong house, sir. I need to go." And I just,
But
like, get up,
yo, yeah.
and me, car will be right there, like, Marcus sees the car, and you just see me running Forrest Gump, and he's like, "What are you doing? You're old enough to drive, you're 30," you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, I'm glad that you and I are in sync on that because
Oh, yeah. And
that
when you
is
think of when you think of the Bad Boys, like, trilogy, like oh, wait, the franchise now, you think of that scene, because that scene is so iconic, and Reggie did redeem himself, later on, and yeah,
and
love Reggie.
and credit and I know we're talking about Bad Boys too, but we can talk about the other Bad Boys where this Reggie that comes into play. That's why I love the last 2 because they understood the assignment. They do the callbacks. They really under and I thought the humor's better in those ones in terms of less fat because they really get to it. But yeah, that's a great callback with Reggie.
Mhm.
You're rooting for it. It's crazy because a movie like that, you should not be, like, clapping, but I started
Yeah.
clapping when I saw that scene because
Yo, yeah,
the
yeah.
kid was like, "Holy shit, Reggie, go!" Right?
Right? And I've seen it in theater, and it was a packed theater, and, like, everybody was just like, "Go, Reggie!" Like, it was just so cool, like, how they did that. It's a callback.
And that's why movies are best experienced in the theater because it would
Mhm.
not hit the same if you saw it at home.
Nope.
That crowd,
Nope.
collective people that remember Bad Boys 2, who are
Yup.
having the time of their lives, are like, "Oh, I remember Reggie," like, "Go." And Reggie does not disappoint. I know we're talking about Bad Boys 2,
No.
but hold on here, people.
No.
That is one of the best, callbacks I've seen in cinema. People can give me a hard time all they want, but I love that callback because that scene is
Yo.
badass.
Badass.
And then he
Yup.
smiles, like, Reggie's like, "Oh
He's
my."
like, "Yes, sir."
Yeah, yeah,
So good.
Marcus did really well for a son-in-law with Reggie was a real one, I'm telling you. Um,
Yeah.
Now back to Bad Boys 2, there's a lot of things another thing I think is it's okay to be over the top, it's a little outrageous, right? But it gets a little crazy at points where I'm like, "This is unbelievable." Um,
Yes.
what do you think is the most insane scenario in this movie?
The most insane, I would have to say, hmm, I'm blanking.
Okay.
Um, mm, insane. 'Cause there was just okay, maybe the one in the video store? When they
Okay.
were in the video store, I was like, "Mm." I was like, "Alright."
Okay. Let me tell you about the humor. That's a good one. I have a
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
I'm kinda going on I write down in my notes, I'm like, one of my things I didn't like in that scene is the beginning with the tech, the employee. No need for him to even try to be funny. I don't even wanna yeah, it's just unnecessary. But then we get to that what I think you're talking about where they're in the video room and it goes live.
Yeah.
It's I don't care what people say, it's funny because of how it's misconstrued to everybody
Y
involved.
yes,
I don't
yes.
do that anymore. I don't know if that scene could fly in 20
No.
no, but
No.
no. But yeah, that scene is pretty insane. It's alluding to something that's not even what it is, so you're really laughing when you that's really good humor. It's like, you're like, "Oh, he got shot in the butt, people." Like, it's not what
Yeah,
you
like, it's not yeah, yeah.
and then when they realize what happened and they leave, this is the part that I'm
And
like, "This may not work anymore. Maybe need to cut this," is when the lady is scolding them, she's like, "You
yeah.
guys, Jesus," and I'm like, "Oh, no," 'cause there's no way
Yeah.
that would fly today, you know what I mean? But
And her kid is in there, like, she was
yeah,
like, "Cover your ears. Cover your
and then
eyes."
I think there's another scene with porn, right? There's, like, someone's hooking up, like yeah,
Oh my
that's
god, yeah,
yeah,
that I was just like, "Alright." You
I was
you didn't have
oh,
to, like, keep going with that. I was like,
yes.
"Okay."
Okay, so that's
You
so
know?
now you understand what I mean. There's certain
Mhm.
parts that could be trimmed,
Yeah.
because I'm like, it worked in 2003, but I'm not really a fan of it even then. I just was like, "That's wild," you know? Even as a kid, I'm like, "That's pretty
Yeah.
wild," you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm glad you brought up the video because there's a lot of good, a lot of bad,
Not
there's
bad,
a lot of
yeah.
ugly
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
yeah. And that's actually a good that should be a good template for class of today making movies, what you cannot do, and definitely shouldn't do, right? Oh,
Yes, I agree.
thank you for bringing that up because I totally forgot about that. Like, sometimes I'll record, and then as soon as we get out, like, we finish, I go,
I should
"Oh,
have said this, I should have said that, I remember this, right? Yeah, yeah.
you have to
I'm
learn
the
to let."
same way.
Yeah, you have to learn to let go because that will drive us insane. I mean, the best part about this is I don't have to ask so many questions because you and I are just rolling with the I'm not gonna lie to you,
Yeah,
this might be
yeah.
the most you've ever seen me animated because there is a lot about this movie I love and like, and there's a
Yeah,
lot I'm like, "Oh, boy." Uh, okay, let's talk about the ending. With them going to Cuba, I don't know if
okay.
that's believable, by the way. That's insane what they're
I
doing.
know.
It can't work in 2026, right?
No, no, it cannot. I don't think so.
What'd you think of it?
I mean, it was it was a lot of destruction. A lot. Um, but I did like the little hole that they dug around, going up there, and then, like, the soldiers were playing soccer, and then they blew them all up. There's some scenes that work. I did not like the whole when they were painting, like, came on
Oh,
the walls, and it was like the the supper and stuff like that. I was just like, "Okay."
cut it.
And
You need
I
it.
know, yeah, I was like, "Why?" Um, but so, yeah, like, there was a lot of things that worked and a lot of things that didn't work. I was at the end, I was like, "Finally, it's over." Like, yeah. Yeah.
Love that answer. Finally,
Um,
so
finally, you know? And I was like, um and at the end, they just made it to the USA line or whatever, and I was like, "Oh, man." Um, but yeah, it was just a lot of destruction.
yeah,
I mean, that's great for Michael, Basing, so,
yeah,
movie, yep.
exactly, and it's I'll tell you one thing, if that was real life US and Cuba,
Yeah,
relation really in big trouble because they have to send us a bill, but it's just so ridiculous because I can't imagine that they're not gonna try to go get her, like, there's somebody in charge that I feel like the army or somebody would've got involved to go send a team, so it just makes me
for
laugh
sure.
when I watch it because it has to
It's so
happen.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's so unrealistic too.
Yes, like they just randomly know somebody in Cuba that can help them, just like,
Just like
okay.
a whole underground, like,
Yeah.
mole thing, yeah.
And then, like, I think to myself with those other 2 cops when they made that Ricky Martin comment, like, "Now these guys are bailing you guys out, okay? Now they're coming to help you.
Yeah.
You gotta be a little nicer to them, like, you gotta
Yeah.
not use that joke." But I like this. It's
Mm.
a lot of action, like you said, the blowing up the scene. Let me tell you, if that's the way I go out, I'm be pretty mad when I'm in hell. I mean, I'll be mad because 'cause I'm in hell. I'm assuming they all go to hell, right? But,
Yeah,
like, I think you're just like, I'm not that curious. If as soon as I see something like that, I'm immediately taken off. I'm like, "Oh, whoa, that's not," you know what I mean? Like,
I'm done. I'm
yeah.
out.
Johnny
Not.
Tapia is an interesting, villain. Like, he is ruthless, but, like,
Yeah.
gotta be honest here, man. It's kinda hard to find you menacing when you have, like, these really nice eyes. It's so funny I say this to you. He has these really nice eyes that I'm just like, when I see you, I think of that Superbad thing. It was, like, the first time I heard the Beatles. Remember that same joke? It's like it's like I expect my villains to be menacing. I'm like, "This guy was in the wrong line of work." Like, you probably could have sold eyeglasses. You know what I mean? Like, you probably could have been, you could have avoided all this. I mean, maybe not make as
For
much.
sure. Oh, yeah.
There is a joke, by the way, that I'm glad you brought up the Last Supper that happens before this, and I can't stand it, and I forgot it was in here, was when Gabrielle Union at the end meets Johnny Tapia, and she meets the mom, and
Mhm.
the mom, "Oh, she's really pretty,"
Oh my god, yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then drops that. I'm not even gonna say that it's the not the N word you're thinking, people. It's a
Yeah.
different one, and I was like, what why is this in here? It's so unnecessary, and
Mhm.
you shouldn't be earmuffing your child because I'm pretty sure grandma has said some crazy things in front of her,
Yeah.
right? Because what a scene that cannot work today, right? It's outrageous. Even in
Mhm. You can't do that
2002, I
today.
don't think it's a scene that should be in there. So that's some of the
No.
fat that I think we trim it.
Yeah.
I'm over here trying to make sure it's in the camera, but yeah, we gotta trim it because like yeah, but that Last Supper too, I'm like, there's nothing for the plot. It's not funny. We don't
It's
even need it. It doesn't do anything to the plot. It's just like
yeah.
he's in Cuba. Oh my god! But I love the action sequences, and the thing that really makes this movie work, even if I complain about some parts of it, but is the dramatic side. Is when Marcus realizes his daughter is or not daughter, a sister, excuse me. If it was his daughter, he'd be going after Reggie, right? But
Yo,
no,
facts.
yeah, but when it's his sister Sid, we get to see Martin Lawrence really show the dramatic side. Like, you feel that emotion. You want to just sign up right then and there, but I'm with my bad boys. I'll go with you to go. I'm gonna go get these guys for you. We're gonna go get Johnny Tap. Did it's awesome, and then I love that this relationship strain that they're having, this storyline that doesn't get much. By the way, it's really strange is when Marcus Burnett tells Mike Lowry, like, I don't know why I keep calling them by their last names, like
Yeah.
if I could know them, but yeah, like remember when he's like, I'm putting my papers after the dead body scene. He's like, they don't really ever
Yeah.
get real in deep into it, and they meet up multiple times, but it's really never brought up upon. Because like if Mike
Yeah.
did that, I'd be devastated. I would
And, like,
be
Will Smith's character, like, he's just putting, Martin Lawrence's character through, like, the ringer, and, like, you can see, like, it's affecting him, and, like,
yeah.
yeah, it's just getting too much, so, I wish they explored that more, more in depth, but
Yeah, and I think they do that better in 3 and 4. I think we get more this, and I think that's why I'm resonating with them. Yeah. Why are they not tackling? Because like, he comes over to the house, and he's about business, about we gotta go to the military, but there's no mention like, "Hey, we should probably talk at some point," that you just dropped the
yeah.
bomb so that because I think Mike doesn't even have much family. Marcus and his family is his family. So, hear that your brother is like, "I want out."
Like,
That's
that's something serious, like,
that would affect me. Like, I would be totally
yeah.
devastated, and I would like, "We need to talk about it, even though we have to do this job." Like, at some point, it's getting mentioned. You know what I mean? Even Reggie, as soon as Reggie leaves, I'm like, "Hey, man, why did you say that to me? Why
Yeah,
why
yeah.
are you leaving me?" Like, you know what I mean? Like, but in that final scene, we kinda get like a little subtleties of like that relationship where there's some analyzation between the characters. They're kinda still still having issues, but when it comes down to the end, when they get to that base and Johnny Tappy's got that gun, and in a ridiculous scene of Gabrielle Union throwing the gun, and it's so
So happen so happened to land on the mine, and I'm like
it but it has to happen because of what happened in the beginning with the way that shot hit his in the beginning, and, like, he shot him in the butt. Marcus shows that after he destroyed his inside of his car, when it comes down to it, and he's put in that position, that's why this is a really good scene, is that it shows you how much he cares about Mike, how good of a cousin he is, that in that moment, he's like, "I'm not gonna let anybody hurt my brother." And then, of course, we
exactly.
get the humor. That's how you shoot, and we're right back at it. But that was a beautiful scene, and it really leads into the finale, right where they're at the pool, and the
Just
humor's pretty
chilling.
good in this, where he's
Mm,
like, "Yeah, me and Sid decided this is not really gonna happen," and
yeah.
all of a sudden now, my sister's not good enough for you. Like,
Right.
and that's when the humor is really good, is when they don't need to try, they just need to what's happening, and then we get into the iconic Bad Boy song, and the pool callback is another good one.
Yes. Yes. I loved it, yeah. I was not expecting the dog to do that again.
Yeah, it's a Michael Bay movie, but yeah, see, like, I was with you, I was so glad, that I was like, "Oh, thank God it ended," because technically, we both like it, right? But it's just a little too long, where if you
Yeah.
cut about 15, maybe 20 minutes of that movie's flying on all cylinders. If you really think
Yeah.
about it, maybe not cut as much humor because you like a little bit more than me, but I still cut a little bit. I think that movie's flying, and it's
I
gonna be
agree.
nonstop action. But at the end of the day, it was ahead of its time because I don't think many movies in 2003 were that long. Blockbusters were not like
No.
today, um, right? Not at
Probably,
all.
like, roughly 1 hour and 50, like close to 2, but like 2 hours and 20, that's surprising.
Now, this is a tricky question here. I always ask people, okay, so you gotta, out of 100%, what are you
Uh,
rating Bad Boys 2?
that's a big number right there. That's why I like rating it things out of 5 because it's so simple. But I would probably rate it 75%.
For me, I would have to say, because it went back and forth a couple times. As we talked, I've had more fun talking about Bad Boys 2 than actually watching Bad Boys 2, which is crazy. I would give it a 71. I think it's good, but when you see the John Woo movies, you'll understand why I have a different opinion. And this is me, um, who just saw John Woo's Hong Kong classics just the last, just this past year, really. It's a good movie. It could
Mhm.
be better, like we talked about, trim a little bit, and this movie's rolling. Now, if people want to follow you, Jay, they want to follow you, where can they go?
So I only use Twitter. I'm calling it Twitter, not X, but it's JayLovesMovies.
All right. Give Jay Loves Movies a follow. I think that if you love movies and you're looking for a part of the film community on that app that's not toxic, let me tell you, one of the best follows you could do would be J Love Movies. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on, and we will see you again. And that about wraps it up. Thank you so much to Jay for coming on, kicking off the action theme for May. Love action movies. And I really had a good time talking about Bad Boys 2, and I hope he comes back on. And you know what time it is. It's the conclusion of this episode of Tomorrow Comes Movies. So if you liked what you heard or watched, you want to follow the show. So for podcast apps, hit the follow and you'll get notifications when new episodes drop. And we're everywhere, people. We're everywhere on podcast apps. Amazon, Deezer. I don't know what that is, but I always bring it up. Pandora. I'm going real old school here. Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio. You name it, we're on it. On the YouTube side, if you like watching the video format version, subscribe if you haven't already, and then hit the bell notification so you can stay up to date as soon as episodes drop. If you would like to follow us on social media, you can at TOC Movies on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. And there is a link in the description that will take you to everything because I forgot to mention on YouTube where to go. It's youtube.com/at TOC Movies. And that'll take you there. If not, go to the link tree. It's so much easier. And that is it. I am the Patrick, your host. And until next time, stay tuned for another episode of Tomorrow Comes Movies.